Hey everyone, welcome back to the J plus K Retro Gaming channel. This week's episode, I'm pretty excited because I believe this is the first car racing game I've featured on the channel, and I'll be playing Top Gear. It's from 1992 and was developed by Gremlin Graphics and published by Kemco. And as it says in its tagline, the objective of this game is to become the fastest driver in the world.
Tell those guys to slow down! They must be going 8,000 miles an hour!
So when I first picked this game to play, I was looking at the box art, and I could have sworn I played this game as a kid growing up. But then I started looking at the screenshots of the gameplay, and it didn't ring a bell. So this could be a fresh gameplay for me, which is pretty cool because the 5-minute challenge will be at its purest. But before I get into the gameplay, I want to give a quick shout out to one of our biggest supporters of the channel. I'll put his link in the description below and on the screen, Retro Oblivion. They do gameplay vids, they do reviews, they do hunts out in the wild, so go check out his channel, Retro Oblivion. And thanks so much for your support. So let's go play Top Gear. That's me driving, but it's gonna be probably more with the control pads like this. Let's go. So there you have it. That was Top Gear from 1992 on the Super Nintendo, and it did not disappoint. It definitely passed the 5-minute challenge. And as I started playing it, I did not remember playing it as a kid, so for some reason that box art just stuck in my head. It was kind of cool. It was a cross between two of my favorite all-time driving games, one being Outrun from Sega, the second being Gran Turismo, especially on the PS2 and above on the PlayStation. So obviously being a driving game from the 90s gave me the Outrun feel, but it also had a tournament style points ranking, which reminded me of some of the Gran Turismo gameplay, where you had to meet a certain amount of points in order to go on to the next stage. So that was very cool. So let's get right into the ratings. The audio was a solid 9. So the music was awesome. It was definitely an 80s inspired early 90s soundtrack, booming in the speakers while you're driving at high speeds down the street. It was for sure one of the best parts of the game. The sound effects were also awesome. The engine sounds, the cars screeching, the wheels, the cars hitting, all of those things definitely hit the mark. That's why I give the sound and audio a 9. So now on to the graphics and the video. It was definitely above par of the 16-bit system. I'll give it an 8.5. The graphics design of the cars were awesome, definitely hit the mark. Very simplistic, but very cool. The horizon and the surrounding area as well were very detailed. And even the level with the night driving was really well done, especially with the headlights. Very, very cool graphics. So now on to gameplay, one of the most important parts of my ratings. I'll give Top Gear 8 out of 10 for gameplay. The game itself wasn't too hard. There wasn't any toppling over or crashing like there are in other games like Outrun. So when you hit other cars or the side of the road or a shrub or a sign, I didn't notice during my gameplay experience at least, it causing too much damage or losing too much time. But it was hard in the sense that I couldn't really finish first. It seemed like the computer cars just had that much of an edge going a little bit faster than me. Also can be pretty dizzying. It does give you a sense that you're moving really fast. The lines on the road were really close together. I definitely had to move back from the TV screen, or it could have been lights out for me. I don't do well with fast moving side to side, looking at the car, the road, and the horizon. I think it would have been passed out. But again, as I mentioned before, it uses a tournament style point system, and that adds so much more to the game rather than just going from race to race. You had to get a certain amount of points to move on to the next stage, as well as finishing with enough total points to move on to the next country or the next event. So I really like that about this game. So all in all, my first car racing gameplay featured on the channel, Top Gear for the Super Nintendo. I give it 8.5 Marios out of 10. Go check out Retro Oblivion's channel. That's my shout out of the week. Thank you all for watching and have an awesome day. See you next week for the next episode.